That's my perception coming from Spain, and also in other countries where I've lived long enough, like in Latin America. So the importance of balanced narratives to avoid reinforcing nationalistic agendas while promoting inclusive dialogue and restitution efforts is something that also I think needs more careful thought from us scholars. For example, take Sudan, which is one of the current humanitarian emergencies in the world. Over 11 million displaced people due to ongoing civil war, which represents one of the largest current displacement crises that we have. The role of international organizations like the International Organization for Migration, IOM, in providing data, aid, and frameworks for addressing both immediate and long-term challenges. Right? And also, we have to talk about multilateralism under threat, because I think rising far-right ideologies in Europe and the return of leaders like Donald Trump threaten multilateral cooperation. There is a decreased support for international organizations like the one I mentioned before, the UNRWA, which undermines efforts to protect displaced populations. So recent US rejection of a UN ceasefire resolution in the Palestinian-Israeli conflict reflects growing disregard for humanitarian priorities, and I think we all have to bear in mind that. However, on a positive tone, there is transitional justice as a framework for action, as it was mentioned as well as from my Spanish colleague Carlos Sanchez. Carlos Sanchez, he mentioned transitional justice as well, and I want to emphasize that justice mechanisms must address historical grievances while fostering reconciliation. We have very beautiful examples, recent examples, like South Africa's Truth and Reconciliation Commission, but also the Colombia's reparation for victims under the special jurisdiction for peace. Transitional justice can mitigate cycles of violence and displacement by promoting accountability and victim-centered reparation. And the role of scholars and civil society is also very important. We, as scholars, must remain vigilant, disseminating research findings to inform public debate and policy making. And civil society initiatives are critical to pressuring governments to prioritize human rights over political